Here in the wagon barn are some of the most important inventions in human history. Sure, you can see examples here of the wheel or the automobile, but the inventions I'm talking about are the domestic appliances that allowed for increased leisure time and redefined gender roles in society to a degree as never seen before in human history. The evolution of the washing machine, as demonstrated in this barn, is a representative example of this changing domestic life. For many centuries, sailors used to place their clothing in a cloth bag, tie the bag to a rope, and throw it overboard, letting the ship drag it for hours. The principle was simple:
PTE
force water
Rainbow.
through the clothes to remove the dirt. But in the household before running water and electricity, washing clothes took a staggering amount of labor. To wash, boil, and rinse a single load of clothes could take 50 gallons of water, which had to be hand-carried from a pump or well. Hand-wringing, rubbing, and lifting the clothes could expose women to caustic substances in the soaps. The whole process for a household's laundry could take an entire day or more of back-breaking labor. In 1846, a patented washing machine imitated the human hand moving cloth over a washboard by using a lever to rub the clothes between two ribbed surfaces. This machine was sold in the U.S. as late as 1927. The first electric clothes washers, in which a motor rotated the tub, were introduced into America about 1900.
PTE Rainbow.
This is my next contribution to New Zealand's super diverse future. The status quo is not sustainable. Super diversity stocktake, which I will talk to you about now, is designed to help us to adapt to a super diverse New Zealand, to make sure that we are fit for the future. Because New Zealand is super diverse right now, predominantly in Auckland, but actually throughout New Zealand. Here, we're already 50% Maori Pacifica and Asian. 44% are not born in New Zealand. And we have
PTE
over
Rainbow.
200 ethnicities. Now, the definition academically of super diversity is 25% not born in New Zealand, 100 ethnicities. So we are almost double that number already. And Auckland will continue to become younger and browner as the Anglo-Saxon population ages and shrinks. So the mega trend here is not age. And the mega trend here is not urbanisation. The mega trend is demography. It's ethnicity. And we need to get our head around that, because most of the benefits from super diversity that we as a country are enjoying at the moment, such as greater innovation, productivity and investment, increase New Zealand's financial capital, whereas most of the challenges from super diversity adversely affect New Zealand's social capital. However, if you don't mitigate the challenges to your social capital, you are not going to maximise sustainably the diversity dividend benefits for your financial capital.
PTE Rainbow.
Instinct is a term used to describe a set of behaviors that are both unlearned and set in motion as the result of some environmental trigger. Instincts are also often discussed in relation to motivation, since they can also occur in response to an organism's need to satisfy some innate internal drive tied to survival. Instincts are present across species and are consistent within individual species. In other words, many different species rely on instincts, and if one member of a species possesses an instinct, then they all do. Before we move into a discussion of specific types of instincts, it is important to distinguish the difference between an instinct and a reflex.
PTE Rainbow.
Both are types of unlearned behavior that tend to serve a survival purpose. The difference is that a reflex is typically a simple reaction or a response to an environmental trigger, whereas an instinct is a much more complex set of behaviors. For instance, an example of a reflex would be when a baby turns his head toward an object that is pressed against one cheek in an effort to nurse. The head turn is a simple reactionary process. An instinct would be the manner in which a mother bird regurgitates her food to feed her young in response to their signals of hunger. Both are reactions to environmental cues. However, the mother bird must engage in a series of much more complex behaviors in order to respond to the cues the environment is providing her.
PTE Rainbow.